You're listening to Improv-ing Business on Web Talk Radio, where personal and business finance take a front row seat. I'm Brandon.
Hello, this is Rick.
And today we'll be talking about our big consumer decisions, Part 2, buying or leasing an automobile. Last week we talked about buying houses, one of the biggest purchases most people make. And today we're talking about a slightly smaller but still pretty big purchase of cars. The way you get around, especially in LA. If you don't have a car, it's better to have a car and no home in LA than a home and no car.
Well, yeah, but you remember the time when the officer accused you kind of living in your car?
Well, he was partially right. I had enough clothes in there to count as living in a car.
But it got you out of a ticket.
It did, yeah. He was a nice guy. He thought I was living out of my car, so he gave me a break on having my registration out of date.
So there's an example of why you should have a messy car.
I may or may not have played up the drama of I haven't been back to my parents in a while after he asked me if I was living out of my car. You know, I just haven't got the money together for gas. All true. All slightly misleading.
But before we jump into automobiles, we are going to do something that we told you that we were going to do last week. And we said we were going to give you the update on our house hunt. So if you listened to last week's podcast, we talked about how to buy a house and some of the things to look into and not fall into pits.
Yeah, and things to look for, too. Just beneficial things you want in a house.
Right. And, you know, that's something that when I look at houses, I try not to get emotionally involved. I really do. I really try to look at everything from a very objective point of view because I have plenty of time to get emotionally involved after we move in. So we were talking about looking for a house where Brandon and Devin, our two sons, two of our four kids, are going to go in with us and purchase a house for them to live in around Highland Park, Echo Park, Glendale. Right? Anything else I missed?
Pasadena.
Well, actually, we're talking about South Pasadena.
Yeah.
And then, we were looking on, we had some leads from our cousin Denise, who had given us some homes that we've been going out.
She's a realtor,
That's
not
right.
just some person who
She's a real
gives
realtor.
us leaves.
Yeah, a real realtor. And but we happened to migrate over to Pasadena, which is a very nice neighborhood. Some really nice places in Pasadena. You may have known of it from the Rose Parade and the Rose Bowl and the Doodah Parade.
Less so. Most people know the Rose Bowl, not the Doodah Parade.
Oh, well, Doodah Parade is my favorite. But anyway, so we happened to migrate over there. And as we were driving through the neighborhood, we came across a house that was for sale. And we got out and went in, and it was an open house. And talking to the realtor, it was kind of a craftsman type house?
Yeah, beautiful craftsman house.
Yeah, it was a very nice craftsman house. And we took the brochure, and it was beyond our budget. And remember, that's what we told you. When you're going to buy a house or anything, if we're talking about cars, make sure you have a budget of where you want to be. And, you know, maybe you could fudge a little bit on the budget as you find something that's really good. But for the most part, you know where you're supposed to be, and that's where your bank person is going to help you with what your budget will be because you can only qualify for so much of a loan. And also, if you have other expenditures, maybe you're taking care of your parents or something that you may have to spend money on, you have to put that in your budget too, which the bank person wouldn't know.
Yeah.
So it's good to know those things when you're walking into a house. So we knew right off the bat this was above what we were able to afford with the boys, and it was beyond everything. But it was a nice house.